Well, can you believe it? We filled the room again, which is great. Hopefully you can hear me all right. And can you believe that the presidential election, or the elections, are more than almost a year away, and all you see on TV or the news or anything is electioneering? I mean, it's got to stop sometime. It's unbelievable. The presidential primary, as you know, is in March of next year, and the other primary elections are really, they're not until August, which is 10 months away, and yet we've got a race going here in Florida, which is unbelievable. And Florida is in play, which is, they refer to that in political terms whenever it's a major place where people want to come and gather votes. And the Villages is really in play because they always want to gather votes here. You know, we have the privilege or opportunity to live in a very politically charged environment, as you probably know. Now, that's either a privilege or it's a curse. It depends how you look at it. On any given day, you never know who you're going to see in the squares. I know last week I was down in Lake Sumter and I saw Mitt Romney coming out of the Anglers Club. He must have had a nice dinner there. I don't know, any of you ever been to the Anglers Club? I know I haven't. Last week, Rick Scott was roaming around in the Villages somewhere. Last Monday, we had the chairman of the Benghazi subcommittee for Congress here speaking. Surprised I didn't see more of you at their meeting. It was kind of interesting. And also not a real surprise because I know he has friends here, but a real sleeper. And I saw yesterday in some of the political news that he might be the sleeper candidate for the Republicans to take the presidential nomination to run for president, and that's Mitt Romney. He was in the Villages a couple weeks ago. Don't count him out yet. You know, we've extended invitations, just so the club members know and our members know, we've extended invitations to every Democratic candidate that's running for office on a state and national level. That includes the presidential candidates, the senatorial candidates, the congressional candidates. I've already introduced Dave Kohler, who's running for Congress to not replace Richard Nugent, but he's going to be running against the Villager's son. So today I really have the pleasure of introducing again, this is the second or third time this fellow's been with us, and it's really exciting when he does come here. He was born in the Bronx, New York. He worked his way through college as a janitor and a night watchman. He graduated summa cum laude from Harvard University. After working as an economist, he graduated in 1978, and after working as an economist, he returned to Harvard and completed his graduate studies. In 1983, he received a Master's of Public Policy from the John F. Kennedy School of Government. In 1986, he founded the Alliance for Aging Research in Washington, D.C., and he served as an officer of that firm for more than 20 years. In 1991, he founded the law firm of Grayson and Kubley. In the 2000s, he worked as a plaintiff's attorney, specializing in whistleblower fraud cases aimed at the Iraq War. He gained national attention in 2006 when the Wall Street Journal described him as waging a one-man war against contractor fraud in Iraq. He became infamous with his car bumper sticker. Bush lied, people died. He entered national politics in 2007, becoming a congressman in 2008. Vermont Governor Howard Dean refers to him as a healthcare hero for his stance on the Affordable Care Act in support of it. He has sponsored the Pay for Performance Act, the Public Opinion Act, War is Making You Poor Act, Shareholder Protection Act, and the Paid Vacation Act. He is a member of the Subcommittee on the Middle East, Southeast, and South Asia, and the Subcommittee in the Western Hemisphere. He's on the Committee of Science, Space, and Technology, the Subcommittee on Energy, and the Subcommittee on Environment. In the past 2 years, he has written more bills, passed more amendments into law than any other member of the House. He is ranked number 1 out of 435 members of the House. So he's running for senator, and it's going to be tough because that seat's kind of cold in Washington. Our senator doesn't show up to warm his seat. So hopefully when Alan Grayson is in the primary battle to run as a primary Democratic candidate for Senate. He is referred to as a congressman with guts, becoming a target of special interests and corporations. I think that's probably a badge of honor when you become a target of that. I want to let you know that we arranged for that greeting when you came in today. They were nice enough to show up. You only had to pay them $50 each, like Donald Trump does with the folks that come to his events. I'm pleased to welcome Alan Grayson, the congressman with guts, back to the Villages Democratic Club. Alan? Alan?
All right, can you hear now? Yeah. Raise your hand if you can hear me. Oh, you can hear me. You know, Tesla is a $50 billion company, and what does Tesla do except basically sell golf carts? You were ahead of your time. You recognized the potential way before Tesla did. It's great to be here. I will tell you that as I travel around Central Florida, you all are the largest Democratic group I ever get to speak to. Larger than any group in Daytona, larger than any group in Orlando, larger than any group in Tampa. God bless you all for being here today. It's great to be here on a Saturday in particular because let's remember it was Democrats who gave us the weekend. I grew up in New York, and the garment workers, look at that, a round of applause for New York. Things have changed, obviously. The garment workers used to have signs on the subways, which I saw because I used to take the subways to school every day. And the signs were a very stern man looking down and saying, if you don't come in on Sunday to work, don't come in on Monday, you're fired. That man looked just like Donald Trump. Probably his father, yeah. You know, I was watching the Republican debates. I have to tell you, if a circus got married to a demolition derby, and they had a baby, that baby would be the Republican debate. I was on MSNBC discussing this a few days ago on Chris Hayes' show, and I pointed out how odd it is that we think the person who's best suited to run the economy, if you happen to be a Republican, is the one who got famous for saying to people, "You're fired." How strange is that? Now, look, I have to say that I understand what's going on here. How many of you have seen the reality show, The Biggest Loser? Well, they all seem like losers to me. But I think what they're actually doing is they're creating a new reality show called The Biggest Bigot. And then there's Dr. Carson. Do we really want someone as President of the United States who always looks like he has no idea where he is or what he's doing? I mean, it really didn't work well when W was president. Why would we want that again? Last time I looked, our own little Marco Rubio was third in the polls. We call him No-Show Rubio in Washington, D.C. He has missed more votes than any other senator. Actually, missed more votes than any other senator before he even declared for the presidency And the excuse is, well, it was good enough for McCain, so why is it not good enough for me? I don't know if you've examined his legislative record. He's been in the Senate for 5 years now, and he did pass a resolution renaming September Spinal Injury Month. I actually like September, so I'm going to stick with September no matter what he says. I see nothing wrong with that name. But that's what he's done, and honestly, that sort of gets under my skin. As you all heard, I passed more amendments than any other member of Congress. 31 amendments in 2 years. I also have more Grayson bills that are now the law of the land than any other member of Congress. 15 bills and 1 resolution in 2 years. And I don't want to bore you, but I actually want to tell you about some of the things that I've done, because I think this is what the election is actually going to be all about next year. It was mentioned that I helped start the Alliance for Aging Research. My research thesis when I was getting my master's degree at Harvard was on gerontology and public policy. And I said, what we need is, we need an organization that's like the American Heart Association, like the American Cancer Society, but specifically for seniors and senior health. And based upon that, we created the Alliance for Aging Research, which increased the funding for health research on the causes and potential cures of aging by 500%. And that was the longest sustained effort of my entire life. As you heard, we started the organization in 1986. I continued it until 2008. At some point, my children will be more than 22 years old, but they're not there yet. So that actually is the longest sustained effort of my life. We did magnificent things. We helped to create cures. We have 2.8 million seniors in this country who are blind. We help to find ways to prevent that from happening. And it's how should I put this? I don't want to sound like I'm at the Republican meeting, but the fact is that it's God's work. To be able to take someone who's sick, someone who's suffering, and to heal them is a magnificent and beautiful thing. And in that regard, let's remember who gave us Medicare. That was the Democratic Party. Let's remember who gave us Social Security. That was the Democratic Party. So for more than 20 years, I was an officer of the Alliance for Aging Research. I also was the director of Florida Senior Programs. So it should come as no surprise to you all that I remain very active, as I have through my whole life, in matters affecting seniors and their health. So to give you one example, one of the 31 amendments that I passed recently was an amendment to reverse 43% of the cuts imposed by the Republicans on senior housing. Another amendment was a 50% increase in the budget for free tax advice for seniors provided by the IRS. I'm going to work on another amendment requiring us to make the print on the tax forms much bigger. Because frankly, I've had trouble reading them. I don't even wear glasses. So let's talk a little bit about what I think next year's election is actually all about. By the way, I want you to know I've had this conversation directly with Hillary Clinton. And fingers crossed she agrees with me about this. I think we need to do better for our seniors. And I'm going to tell you exactly how and exactly why. Now, it used to be that we had a champion in Congress. His name was Claude Pepper. And I don't know how many of you remember this, but Claude Pepper served 2 terms in the Senate. And then after that, he served more than 20 years in the U.S. House of Representatives. And he was the chairman of the Seniors Committee in the House of Representatives. This turned out to be an important thing, because time after time, year after year, there are efforts to cut back on senior benefits. We see it all the time in Congress. Somebody has to protect seniors and look for opportunities to make things better. Well, I think that that's the fundamental issue, at least in Florida, for next year. And what I've done is I've given some thought to what needs to change. We get sucked into this misconception that elections are all about electing people. They're not. They're all about who wins and who loses. And I think it's time the seniors got a raise. So that's what next year's election is. Now here's a startling statistic for all of you who like statistics. Seniors haven't had an increase in Social Security benefits in 40 years. Now, the average senior gets Social Security benefits in 14 years. So if you do the math, you'll find out that 3 generations of seniors have come and gone through the Social Security system without a single increase in the purchasing power of Social Security benefits. 40 years. Ever since that last increase in 1975, the per capita income in the United States has gone up by 97%. The purchasing power for Social Security benefits has gone down by 3%. This year, as of last month, the Social Security Administration announced that there would be a 0 cost of living increase of Social Security benefits. Why? Because they said the price of gas went down. Look at all these electric cars in this neighborhood. I don't think that means a lot to you. And in fact, what's happened is that has exposed and underscored the fact that we are miscalculating the cost of living adjustment for seniors. We actually do it based upon the Consumer Price Index for workers, the CPI-W. Why? Because that's the only cost of living adjustment that was calculated in 1975. Oh my goodness, it's 2015. And for more than a couple of decades now, we've known the CPI-E, the Consumer Price Index for the elderly. Now, I don't want to get personal, but I look around this room, I think I see 1 or 2 elderly in this room. Am I right about that? All right, raise your hand if you will cop to being elderly. All right, keep your hand up, keep your hand up. All right, now raise your hand if you hope to be elderly one day. All right, I think we've covered everybody. That's basically wrong index. It's a glitch. It's a glitch. So I knew this was going to happen because I did notice that the price of gas was dropping, and I am aware of the fact that there are some seniors who don't drive to work every day. So I asked the Congressional Research Service, what should the increase be? And their answer came back, it should be 3%. Well, that's an official government body telling me that it shouldn't be 0, it should be 3%. So I put in a bill called the Seniors Deserve a Raise Act, which already has over 50 co-sponsors, to give seniors that 3% raise, and then to change the formula so that in the future we're using the right formula, not the wrong formula anymore. Does that make sense to you? Well, I think that's what next year's election is all about, that seniors deserve a raise. Now, another thing that's caused me some concern is the fact that Medicare has a lot of gaps in it. In fact, we actually have something called the Medigap insurance program to cover some of those gaps. One of those gaps happens to correspond to the gap between my front teeth. It's the fact that Medicare doesn't cover any dental needs. Now, this is a matter of some personal anxiety to me. My father lost a half of a front tooth when he was 76 years old. The last couple of years of his life, he looked like a pirate. And I asked him, would you please get it fixed? He said, no, I'm not getting it fixed because it's too expensive. I said, I'll pay for it. He said, you've got to be kidding. I'm not taking charity for my son. He was like that. So he ended up having half the tooth in the front of his face for 2 years, and it was sad. Is there anybody here who doubts that your teeth are part of your body? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that your eyes are part of your body, your ears are part of your body, your teeth are part of your body. I think that Medicare should cover every part of your skull. Now, this turns out to be a rather important thing from the perspective of health and even survival. I mentioned to you already that we have 2.8 million seniors in this country. Seniors, not just people in general, but seniors who are blind. How many of those cases could have been avoided by a $40 eye exam that Social Security should provide but doesn't? Medicare should provide but doesn't. Now, think about this. There's a very close link between gum disease and heart disease. So, how many cases of heart disease will we spend $100,000 and then somebody ends up often is not dying from it? It is the leading cause of death in this country. How many cases of heart disease could be avoided if we actually provided a $50 gum cleaning to people as part of their Medicare benefits? That seems like a good sort of cost-benefit analysis to me. You pay $50, you save $100,000, and you save a life. So, I've introduced a bill called the Seniors Have Eyes, Ears, and Teeth Act. In case there was any doubt about that, which extends Medicare to cover your eyes, ears, and teeth. Now, it turns out that the only reason why it doesn't is because when the bill was written in the 60s, there were 2 lines in the bill that said it doesn't cover anything involving your dental needs, it doesn't cover anything involving vision or hearing. It's just entirely arbitrary. There's no reason for it. You know, I've gone and I've checked, and basically they just said, we don't want to spend the money, so we're not going to have these things covered. And here we are 50 years later, literally 51 years later, with this legacy that arbitrarily cheats seniors. And I'm going to use that word, cheats seniors. We make a promise to seniors that when you reach the age of 65, we will take care of your health care needs. And you pay into the system for maybe 40 years to get to that point. You pay in, you pay in, you pay in, you pay in, and then you get to that point, and suddenly it doesn't cover your eyes, your ears, or your teeth. It's cheating. So my bill got 76 co-sponsors in 2 days. I've never seen that happen before. You know, admittedly, I'm only in my 5th year in Congress, but I'll tell you, I have never seen a bill get 76 co-sponsors in 2 days. I mean, it wasn't exactly as hard as selling ice to Eskimos. It was easy. All I had to do was say, here's the bill, here's what it does, it's 1 page long, it cuts these 2 lines out of the statute, it fixes this problem, and all the other members said, oh yeah, give me that thing, I'm going to sign that right now. And I think that that's something that's encouraging. We're now going through a long period of time of divided government. I've managed to find ways to get things done. I'm one of the few who can actually say that, Democratic or Republican. It's encouraging to me to see that it's possible that we might make progress. Now, the third part of my seniors platform, the Grayson Seniors platform, is very simple. I'm sure you all have noticed in the course of your lives that you get taxed when you pay into Social Security. It's actually a tax on your Social Security incomes. So you're paying in, you're getting taxed on what gets taken out of your paycheck, and then there's a tax on the tax. Then, when you get the benefits, if you have other income, there's a tax on that too. So depending upon how you count, it's either double taxation or maybe even triple taxation. That's not right. So we're going to be introducing a bill in the next couple of months that eliminates the double taxation of Social Security benefits. Now, this is not pie in the sky. I am actually, according to Slate magazine, the most effective member of Congress. Business Insider, which is not exactly, how shall I say this, a friendly audience for a liberal Democrat like me, they say that I'm the most productive member of Congress. Time magazine says that I'm a standout legislature in what they accurately describe as a do-nothing Congress. So I can actually get things done. And what I'd like to see is that that's what next year's election is all about. I want to see that the election is all about who could get good things done for people. We are not picking the class president for high school. We're not picking the homecoming queen. We're picking the President of the United States in one case, and one of only 2 people to represent us in the U.S. Senate, the 19 plus million of us, in the other case. This is very, very important. We've gotten too detached from the political process. We think it's all about personalities because that's the way it's presented to us. That's the way the candidates come and present to us. They say, would you like to have a beer with me? Listen, I don't even drink beer, okay? It's not going to work. What this has to be about is who can lead us to the promised land. Who can lead us toward justice, equality, and peace. And that's why I'm running for the U.S. Senate. With your support. So I don't know how much you do of call-out and response. I'm going to try this just once. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'd like to hear you say it. I'd like to hear you say, seniors deserve a raise. Will you do that for me? Seniors deserve a raise. One more time. Seniors deserve a raise. As loud as you can. Seniors deserve a raise. Thank you. Now, the organization that I created with Dan Perry, the Alliance for Aging Research, has an annual award dinner in Washington, D.C. It was just a month ago. And that annual award dinner gives out an award to the one member of Congress who has done the most to help seniors in the course of that year. What I'd like to do, let me just tell you, we gave the award the Claude Pepper Award. What I'd like to do with your help and your support is I'd like to one day win. I'd like to one day win the Claude Pepper Award. So we have a primary next August, we have a general election next November. I would be very grateful for your support. We're all in this together. And together we can make the world a better place. Thank you very much.